G'day, it's Phil here, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking through $2 coins again, looking for commemorative coins, rare coins, and coins worth more than face value. Again, we've got my $2 collection book here, already partly filled with the commemorative coins that we've found so far. When I say partly filled, I mean nearly fully filled. I'm really only looking for the Remembrance Day Red Poppy. I filled in all the placeholders that I had when I started the book, 80 hunts ago. I've got a few to get that don't have placeholders, the honeybee coin, the U and the S, and the peacekeeping coin, but yes, I need to make placeholders for those. But if I get the red poppy, I will close the book off because it will basically be done from the time that I started it. And then I'll start a new book anyway, so it'll have places for other coins. So let's get into it. I'll mainly be looking through the reverses, just looking for the commemorative coins and coins more than face value. And again, we're going to go through the coins a little bit slower. Take a bit of time. I'm going to pull in a little bit, make it a little bit closer for you guys. Take a bit more time. Looking for the errors, looking for the years. So you can see the coins that I'm looking at, what years they are, if there's any rim cards or errors inside the fields of the coin. Then I don't have to go through them again at the end, although some people like it when I go through really quickly. I mean, some people just put the video on fast forward and do it anyway. So it doesn't really matter. What does matter is what I tell you or what information I can impart to you while I'm doing the noodle. Last couple of hunts I went through the $2 coins that we have in circulation, both from the Royal Australian Mint and the Royal Australian Mint through a corporate program such as Woolies. So I'm going to struggle a bit to find a topic through this video. But certainly, I have no doubt I'll find something to come up with. So as we go through the coins, I'm mainly looking for the coloured coins, of which there is one there because it has the $2 on the legend on the obverse here, 2021, and it's an indigenous, well, not an indigenous, what it is, it's an Australian Aboriginal flag, 50 years of the Australian Aboriginal flag, from 1971 to 2021. It's a nice coin. The paint is slightly awry to how it should be, or how it was designed, but that's part of the printing process, so it adds no extra value. Some collectors would think that it makes it not as valuable or just face value, but the black and the red are supposed to be diagonal like that with the two dots on either side of the legend on the reverse. This one is just slightly up to a little bit up, but it's a nice coin nonetheless, and it's still in pretty good nick. The paint hasn't been chipped off too much. Depending on where you're going and when you're trying to, if you're trying to sell it, it can fetch above face value at the moment, but it's not. I'm not putting that in as part of the Red Poppy Fund because I think I would struggle to actually sell it, even though that's what eBay says that there are sales. I think I would actually struggle to sell it. It's quite hard to come up with values for the Red Poppy Fund. The Red Poppy Fund, if you're not aware, is because I've been looking for the Red Poppy coin in my book for such a long time. I've taken a leaf out of a YouTuber from the UK's book, and he's trying to do the same thing for a very low minted 50 pence coin that they've got over there in the UK, and he's putting aside the money from above face value fines. So if he was to sell, or if I was to sell a coin that I felt was above face value, then I would put that extra money towards the Red Poppy, and when I get enough money together, I'll buy a Red Poppy and then put it in the book instead of noodling it, which is, oh, look at that. It's the first error we found on the $2 coin for quite some time, and it's quite a large cud error. See on the rim there, you can see it slightly raised there between that area there and that. So it's it's a good 9mm cud on the side of the Aboriginal elder there. It's not a bad find. That's a 1999. A rim cud on a 1999. It's excellent. I haven't found one of those for quite some time. And that's why we go through things a little bit slower, and hopefully I don't miss it because I'm talking too much. 17? No. And so, yeah, I'm looking for above face value coins so that I can get the extra value. Now, whether I sell them or not, as I said when I started the Red Poppy Fund, which was a few weeks ago now, it's another matter, but I'm looking to get the extra value through above face value coins. And people have been asking me lately, do I buy or sell through the coin shop or eBay? I haven't done either of those. I have made some small private sales of people who have contacted me directly just to help me out with the Red Poppy Fund, and that's really all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to start a shop or make a profit out of it or anything like that so much, just trying to get the Red Poppy. So, looking for above face value $2 coins, as I say, is quite difficult. If you look on eBay, and this is what I've done to get my average numbers or prices, and I did see a comment the other day that said that someone went to a coin fair for the very first time, because I do have quite a number of new subscribers and new entrants into the hobby, because it has sparked a lot of people's interest, not only because of the Queen's death and the coins and so forth that it's been around in the media quite substantially, but also before that, the sort of TikTok boom of looking for colour on $2 coins. Here we have a very, very dirty, and probably one that I won't necessarily keep, but a 2012 gold poppy, the first commemorative non-coloured coin, or issued in the same year as the first commemorative $2 coin. Yes, called the gold poppy, or the red poppy no colour. And yeah, it's not very good nick. That'll probably go back, but it's still pull it out of the hunt, show people what it's like. And so, yes, there's been a lot of new entrants, people asking me about that, and there's been some coin fairs, and I think one new viewer said that coins are very expensive, and the answer to that is yes, they are very expensive, whether they be at coin fairs or on the internet, but you have to do your research and you have to know what you're looking for. And the way that I look for value in relation to the Red Poppy Fund is by using eBay as a basis of an average. I always go to eBay if I'm looking for a value and look for the particular coin that I'm trying to value, and find its search parameters, like it might be $2 coronation 2013 Australia, something like that, something that will bring up searches that will only feature that particular coin for the year, the denomination, and the kind. And then I will amend the search so that it's only for sold items, so anything that's sold, because anyone can put an item up on eBay and they can say it's worth $10,000, or they can say that if you want to buy it from me, it's worth $10,000. Now, whether or not someone comes along and pays $10,000 for that, that's another matter. But they can say what it's worth by an asking price. No one's stopping them doing that on eBay. But that's not the value. The value is what a willing buyer is going to pay a willing seller for me, on an average basis over a number of transactions. because there'll be some outliers. Someone will pay a premium because they cannot get it anywhere else, and they want to win an auction, and they will pay a premium if they have to. And someone will wait for 5 of the same things to sell all in the one day, and they'll take the last one at the very, very cheapest price, and then that'll be it. So what I do is, when I've filtered it by sold or closed items, you can actually do both, sold and closed, because a lot of auctions, they will run for however long they run for, 1 day, 7 days, or whatever, and if they don't sell, they'll still have their price up there, but there'll be no bids, so they won't actually sell, but the price will be there. So you have to be careful about that as well. Sorry, just dropped one on the floor. And so you can use eBay to get an average, and what I do is usually go for about 2 months worth of sales. And if you look for 2 months worth of sales, you'll get an idea of two things. One is the general sort of average price, and the other is whether or not it's actually selling. Because eBay doesn't hold those sold prices for too long if there's not a lot of activity. What is that? I can't even read that. I think that's a 2007. Full of corrosive acid, no doubt. Oh, there we go. An A coin from the 2022 Commonwealth Games, from the AUNS series and the $2 coins, not to be confused with the AUNS Dollar Discovery series and the $1 coins, but quite nice. That's relatively new. It's not the newest $2 coin out there. It's the newest corporate $2 coin. The newest $2 coin is the Peacekeepers coin, which is the 75th anniversary of peacekeeping. And that's a coin with two doves facing away from each other and a blue dot in the middle. I have had a subscriber say that they have found some in the wild, so they are out there at the moment, definitely in circulation. I think I've shown you that I bought a carded copy and a roll. Maybe not the roll, but I've shown you that I've got the new one in a mail call recently, or a product review. So yeah, going back to eBay, I have a spreadsheet. I'll flash it up here. It won't. It's a bit busy, but it just shows you that I've listed or got dates of the sales and the amounts, and I've got a number of them over time. So in mine, there's about 35 transactions of, just going back a couple of months. And the reason that I want to go back a couple of months is to make sure that they're actually selling. And there's a couple in that list that only have half the column filled in. It's because in the last 2 or 3 months, there have been very limited sales. And the reason sometimes that there is limited sales, in my opinion, is usually a coin is very new and no one's got much access to it. So people can't actually sell it if they don't have it. So I got limited sales at the time that I did this in the 2020 Mob of Ruse, the 2000 Mule, the 2010 Rotation, because there's just not a lot of them around. And sometimes, like the honeybee, when I did the averages, there wasn't a lot of honeybees around. There's a little bit more now, and the prices have settled slightly, but I can't really get access to them. I've not had one. It's not in my book, so I won't be putting any up for sale anytime soon. But that's the sort of thing that I do, just to get the averages. And it's a good idea if you want to look at, how do I find a cheapish coin? Because there'll be sellers in there that are stores, but there will be also sellers who are individuals and are willing or don't have much advertising or don't have much eBay reach, and their coins don't necessarily go for at the premium because not very many people see them. Here we have a 2020 with the $2 on the obverse, so it's going to be Olympics, yes, 2020 Olympics, Australian Olympic team with the courage, the red ring of courage, the red ring of flowers with the courage, and inside the depiction of Mount Fuji with the sun or moon rising or setting behind it. The only indication on any of the coins from either Tokyo or 16 from Rio that shows where the Olympic Games might have taken place. So I saw a UK YouTuber, Christopher Collects. He got a package from a subscriber, an Australian subscriber, got a ton of $2 coins and $1 coins, 50-cent pieces, and he saw that coin and he couldn't figure it out what the depiction on the front was. And honestly, if you don't know, if you haven't been told, it's actually quite difficult to figure out exactly what that might be. But having said that, if you're a collector and you're collecting coins, especially coloured coins, you will know exactly what's going on with all the coloured coins that we issue. So a few from the hunt so far. We're about halfway there. If I can get this roll open, we'll get further in. Oh, the guard rolls are so tight with their paper, much tighter than the Prosegur rolls. And so yeah, going back to values, just using eBay. Some sales will be very cheap. Some sales will be at a premium. It's not necessarily the law of averages, but it's just the way it goes when you have an auction system. Oh, another Remembrance Gold Poppy, in much better condition, this one. That's not bad. At least we get to keep one now. The other one's going to go back. It's just too yuck. And so yeah, you need to get an average across time. The more averages you can get, the better an idea you get. And obviously, at certain points, I really wanted to discount the newest ones, like the honeybee. If I get it, like I said, I'm not getting it, but if I got lots of them, I might be able to sell lots of them. But oh, there's another card. Look at that. There on the 1998. There's another card there on the very same side as the other one. It's not as big. It's only about 4mm long, but it is a card. It is on a fairly worn coin, I would say. Not a highly circulated. That's what I would say. Highly circulated coin. So we have another card error there. Put that in. The thing about card errors, I don't know about you can get them in progression. You can get them smaller and larger in the same year. That might be from the same die chip or the same collar chip. Or you might get them year after year and have a run of them if you like to collect that sort of stuff, so that you've got, collection that you like to see, like a rim error on every coin since 1988. If you can find one, every single year, that sort of thing. That's the sort of thing that people collect. They collect things that they like. They collect what excites them, what they enjoy. There's a very, very nice 1998. Oh, a little bit schmutz on the front, but high luster and not many dings on that one. It's quite nice. I'll put that one aside for a book or a collection or a set down the track. We'll see how that one goes. It's only $2. So yeah, you can collect whatever you want. I think one of my coin collecting noodling colleagues on the YouTubes has Simbunji has said the same thing very recently, doing a $2 hunt. Collect whatever you like. You can collect sets, you can collect effigies, you can collect. There's a whole different way to collect. You don't have to collect the same way I do. You don't have to collect the same way your father did or your son does or whatever. You can collect whatever you want, whatever makes you happy. And as someone said, it's an expensive hobby, so you don't have to go and collect C mint mark coins from every year at premium prices. You can noodle like I do and collect coins that are at face value. It's really up to you. So that's how I get my values. Especially the 50-cent ones are the more prevalent of the ones that sell. Another coin tuber that I watch, Tassie Coin Hunter, he has his own eBay store and he sells a bit of stuff on that. And he he has said recently that some coins are really hard to sell, even though they do sell online. They're actually quite hard to sell. They can sit there and be for 6 days and get no bids and not sell. So you have to be careful of that sort of thing as well. I mean, there are a lot of people trying to sell them, but there's maybe not a lot of people trying to buy them. Oh, there we go. We have an S. What's this last one? 2021. An S from the 2020 Commonwealth Games held in Birmingham in the UK. An S from the Woolworths corporate one. It's quite a nice nick too. There's really no dings. Really no dings on that S, and the field behind the S there's one ding. But that's good because I don't think I've got that. I've got, have a look. Yeah, I've got the A, but I don't have the U and the S, so that'll be an extra one for the book, which I haven't had for a while. That's excellent. That's a result. Loving it. So collect what you want, do what do what you like. Don't do something you don't like. I mean, goodness, got enough of that in our lives without having to make it our hobby. But yeah, do what you like. What you enjoy, what makes you happy, what doesn't cost you too much. No one's telling you to get into a hobby that's out of your price range. And if you want to look for if you want to look for value, if you're trying to buy, if you're that subscriber of mine that said, coins at coin fairs are very expensive. If you want to buy these sort of things, do your research. Everything you can buy at a coin fair, you can buy online. Sometimes it's a long time between drinks for certain things. What's going on here? 1992. Something's going on with it, but not enough to interest me. Yeah, do your research. Do that sort of thing. Look at the coin on eBay for sales over a period and then buy it at what you think is good value. Or other places. I like eBay because eBay has some guarantees. You can use PayPal. You don't have to use your own account. That sort of thing. There's a lot of Facebook groups that you can get onto that will be $2 orientated or $1 orientated or error orientated or whatever, or marketplace. But there's also a lot of people who will take advantage of you very quickly on Facebook. I'm not saying all people, and I'm not saying all groups are like that. Some groups are really, really good at policing their trades and so forth, and you can get some good value out of some of the Facebook groups as well. Personally, I don't use it, but I'm not saying that they're bad, but there are less controls than there could be because it is a peer-to-peer system. And that means you have to rely on someone else's honesty. So we're down to 2 rolls left. I've talked a little bit about values and how the Red Poppy Fund comes about and how I get my values for my Red Poppy. It has been a shame, actually, that I've been getting much more value out of the 50 cent... what am I doing? Out of the 50 cent hunts for Red Poppy Fund than the $2 hunts. I'd like to obviously get a really big value item like a 2010 rotation or an incused or Def would say a mule. But having said that, chipping away at it little by little is a good way to show people that there is value in these if you can spend your time looking for coins, but there's not a great deal of value. You're not going to make cheap stations selling 50 cent pieces, I'll tell you. It would be nice to have picked up a little bit more colour in the $2 realm. Certainly some of the mid-range colours from, say, 2017, 18 and 19, some of those sell for reasonable money, and they would have added significant swathes into the Red Poppy Fund. Not that I'm complaining, because it's getting there. It is getting there, and I will get there eventually and buy that Red Poppy and close this book out if I don't find it in circulation in front of me. But it would be nice. There are a lot. of noodlers around the traps at the moment, and all the colour seems to be draining from the system. As you can see from this particular hunt and my last few hunts, not to say that it's happened so recently that it's affected my last 4 hunts, but certainly in this year we're in September, October now, and certainly in this year the number of older colour has certainly disappeared. If you look at that, they're all new colours. They're all what people would think to be not keepers. Woolworths, some of the older ones, not necessarily keepers. But that's just the way that the industry has gone, or the hobby has gone. The Royal Australian Mint still making the hobby very exciting for those people who buy Royal Australian Mint products, either straight from the mint or from the secondary market, because they have brought out a lot of product this year. A lot of product. And I have no doubt that there'll be more product out next year. So, we'll see. Here we have the last roll. So, as much as I have thought that I wouldn't be able to cover a full 20 odd minutes of conversation, I've done 26, which means I'll probably have to cut down these videos and do a little bit of speeding up in videos in the future. 26, 27 minutes is a long time for a $2 noodle of $500, for sure. So, yep, not a lot of colour, unfortunately. We do have a couple of errors, though. I don't see many noodlers on TikTok, or the noodlers who are doing $5,000 to $10,000 at a time, pulling out errors. Although I must admit, I don't spend 3 or 4 hours watching noodling on TikTok live, which is what you can do. So as we come off to the last couple of coins, that's it's quite unusual toning. We didn't find any low mints. I didn't see any 2011s. I was obviously looking for the 9091, which is not in circulation. Didn't see any of those. But what we do have is we have some colour. We have the 2020 Australian Olympic team coin from the Tokyo Olympics. We have an S from the 2022 Commonwealth Games Birmingham, UK, and an A from the same series, AUNS, Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games. We have 2 gold poppies, one that's going to go back because it's in very poor nick, and I'll throw that back now, and one that is going to go back into the collection. It's not a bad example. Not great, but not a bad example. We have the 50th anniversary of the Aboriginal flag from 1971 to 2021, from 2021, which is a nice pickup. And we have 2 error coins, 2 rim cards, one from 1998 with a small 4mm rim cud, and one from the 1999 with quite a larger rim cud there, about 9mm on the left side. So, oh, I almost forgot. The S coin needs to go into the book. So, after closing off that video, when no one's going to see it, let's put the S coin into the book. I might edit this back into before I closed off. All right, no worries. See you later. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully next time we get some more value out of it and find some more coins, although this is not necessarily a bad hunt. We didn't go for a blank, and it's the first time in quite some time that we've got some rim cards and 2 in 1 hunt, so not too bad. So, thank you for watching. If you like what I do, please think about subscribing. Give me the thumbs up. Leave a comment about what you're finding in your area, or how you determine what's good value for you when you're buying coins. That would be nice. All right, I'll be back for noodling in a couple more days anyway, so I'll see you then. Bye.